Okay, welcome back. Part 3. We continue with Road to the New World Order. We now move to the second portion of the timeline, the 1900s. In 1903, a document entitled Protocols of the Learned Elders of the Priory of Zion was published. It outlined a detailed strategy by these same Sabbatean Frank occultists to slowly, over time, gain control over every aspect of human life on the planet, to bring them into the new world of Satan after they have completed their agenda. That is the protocols of the learned elders of the Priory of Zion. 1913, the House of Rothschilds and other Sabbatean Frankist Illuminati families like Warburgs, Rockefellers, Morgans, etc., established through their controlled U.S. President Woodrow Wilson the Federal Reserve, a private central bank to control the U.S. economy while influencing the global economy, thus bringing global economics under their control. Yes, the Federal Reserve is owned by those families, not the U.S. government. And every central bank operates in the world, around the world, operates outside of its government, its station government, and reports to the international bankers. In 1914 through 1918, we have Albert Pike's and Giuseppe Mazzini's First World War, World War I. And I would like to say here that all of the revolutions, starting from the French Revolution, and all of the wars have been orchestrated in order to bring about what we are experiencing today. It has been planned and patiently executed and manipulated right under the noses of the people who live on the earth. The generation taking over what is left from the past generation and consistently bringing it forward. 1920. Right after World War I, the move was to establish the form of the first beast, world government. It was in the form called the League of Nations. It was the conception of the beast, one world government. However, the US population resisted Woodrow Wilson and did not allow him to join the US to the League of Nations. This created a problem for the plans of the Sabbatean Frank agents. But it didn't stop them. 1920 through 21, they established the Royal Institute of International Affairs in London and its sister, the Council of Foreign Relations in the US. Its founders were the same as the founders and the owners of the Federal Reserve and the League of Nations. These would work to bring about a more inclusive world government, one that has the membership of the United States. 1922, Alice Bailey, student of Helena Blavatsky, and her husband, Foster Bailey, both high-initiated Freemasons, founded a non-profit organization named Lucifer Trust. Yes, Lucifer Trust. The kickback was such that they had to change the name to a Lucis Trust. And if you can Google Lucis Trust, it used to be Lucifer Trust. So, you know what the agenda is, right? But you only know a portion of the agenda with Lucis Trust, because these are the people who put out the goodwill ambassadors. So, is goodwill really goodwill, or is goodwill badwill? Right is wrong and wrong is right. You figure it out. Now, Lucis Trust is in charge of the meditation room at the United Nations. That means they control the spiritual activities of the UN. Now, in 1938, a man named Orson Welles, you might have heard of him, an American radio broadcaster, this was before TV, broadcast what is called War of the Worlds. It was the first media experiment by the Illuminati designed to test the response of the mass and general public in the US to the effects of media reported information. So you see, the media has been in play concerning this for a long time. Excuse me. Yes, they've been in play in this for a very long time. Wells announced on the public broadcast that the earth was being invaded. Every person believed him. The response was exactly what the Sabbatean Frank Illuminati wanted. The broadcast caused nationwide panic as the public responded with great gullibility, believing every word, and fear, unlike anything ever witnessed. Sounds familiar? Yeah. This test allowed the Illuminati to weaponize the mass media for its purpose of desensitization and misinformation. This gave them the drive to own all media outlets, radio, newspapers, and later, Hollywood. Check out the owners of Hollywood. Those owners are all Sabbatean Franks. Yes. Now, 1935 to 1945, we saw Albert Pike's Second World War, World War II. He would have been we're right here on the timeline, 1939, 45. Yeah, that's 80 years ago. World War II, the second Illuminati war to prepare for the beast of Revelation 13. Every war has its end game. In other words, every revolution and every war is to bring about a certain desired result. A result for that time and something to catapult it forward to move the agenda along. If you want to know more about the end result for each world war so far and revolution, Google Albert Pike or Giuseppe Mazzini's 3 world wars, how they started, and what was the desired end for each. It'll shock you, because the desired end was they got exactly what they planned. 1945, 2 weeks after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, Council of Foreign Relations founded the United Nations. John Rockefeller donated the land in New York, and the U.S. became a member. The beast now began to grow in the waters. Remember the seas of Revelation 13 that the beast was coming out of? Well, now the beast is growing in the sea, which represents the nations of the world. 1954, the Bilderberger Group, founded by the Council for Foreign Relations. Its purpose? To regionalize and integrate Europe and assist in directly influencing global politics. It's a true founder of the European Union, actually. The same Bilderberger Group is responsible for the European Union and for every other regionalized bloc, except 1968. The Council for Foreign Relations took it a step further. They formed what was called Club of Rome. The Club of Rome was organized by 10 leaders from different countries under the auspices and direction of the Council for Foreign Relations to find solutions to world peace and prosperity. Financial backing provided by the Rockefeller family and the other Illuminati families. The Club of Rome functions to oversee and supervise regionalization and world unification. Let me break that down. Regionalization, dividing up the world into regions, and unification, those regions under one control. You who are under the Westminster system of government are familiar with constituencies and parishes for voting exercises, but each of those parishes and constituencies are under the central government. Well, this is what they're doing on a global scale. And it's so funny, these people are fulfilling prophecy, and I'm pretty sure they're aware of it, but they're going straight ahead. Daniel chapter 7, verses 15 to 28, and Revelation chapter 13, verse 1, explains what I'm about to say. The Club of Rome has divided the entire globe up into 10 regions. Can you say 10 toes on Daniel's statue? Or 10 horns on the beast of Revelation 13? They divide up like this. 1, North America, which included Canada, US, and Mexico. The European Union, which now stands as completed region. Japan, another region. South Africa and Australia as region 4. The USSR, even though it's broken up, Russia still have all of its Soviet states and has them under control. So the old USSR is still in operation now under Russia. Then you have 6, Central, South America, and the Caribbean. The 7th region, North Africa and Middle East. 8th region, Central Africa. 9th region, Asia and the Pacific Islands. And 10th region, China. Excuse me. 10 regions, 10 toes, 10 horns. Club of Rome, 1968. In 1973, founded again by David Rockefeller and the Council of Foreign Relations. And you must admit, these people are zealous ambassadors for this agenda. Reminds you of Bill Gates, say, ambassador. Now, they founded what's called the Trilateral Commission. The Trilateral Commission's purpose is to promote a one-world government by encouraging economic interdependence among superpowers. It strengthens the regionalization efforts of the Bilderbergers and Club of Rome. So what you get now is that every subsequent committee or club or group founded is founded not to do something different, but to focus on a concentrated area of development for the agenda that started out with Sabbatai Zevi, who was only doing the work that Yahweh had committed him to, just like Pharaoh and Nebuchadnezzar, even Cyrus. They weren't Yahweh's people, except they were Yahweh's instruments for his work to be carried out. And this is part 3, and we're going to take a break. So, in a few minutes, right back.